Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Bus driver fatally shoots passenger during alleged knife attack. Police investigators are probing the shooting death of a man by a licensed firearm holder during an altercation on a bus in St. Thomas on Thursday. The identity of the deceased has not yet been ascertained. Reports are that shortly after 8 p.m., the driver of a Toyota Coaster bus and a passenger on board had an argument, which escalated when the bus reached in the vicinity of Albion in the parish. Further reports are that the male passenger, who was armed with a knife, attempted to stab the driver, who took evasive action and used his licensed firearm to shoot the passenger. The injured man was assisted to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Cop attacked, stabbed on the East-West Toll Road. The police in Clarendon are warning motorists to be careful when traversing the major thoroughfares, especially along the toll road, and unscrupulous people are setting traps on the roadways, causing damage to vehicles. This comes after a police officer was seriously injured and had to be hospitalized after he picked up a flat tire on a section of the East-West Toll Road. It is reported that the officer assigned to the St. Catherine Police was on his way to work sometime after 3 a.m. when he picked up a flat tire. While changing the tire, he was attacked and stabbed 14 times in the back by an unknown assailant. He remains in hospital in stable condition. Head of Operations in Clarendon, Superintendent Christopher Phillips, said that the officer got into a struggle with his attacker and managed to disarm him of a shotgun. We would like to remind residents to be extremely careful when traveling at certain hours of the night or morning, and to look out for debris set on the roadway to get your attention and to get you to stop so that they can commit their criminal acts. Superintendent Phillips also expressed concern that the officer is in an attempt to get to the Maypen Hospital was being turned back at the toll booth after explaining that he was wounded and was in need of immediate medical attention. It is worrying that the operators didn't want to allow him to pass the toll booth. We are certainly looking into the issue and see where the gaps are and seek to have them addressed, he said. Bodies found in car trunk off Arcadia Drive, St. Andrew. 2 men were reportedly found dead in the trunk of a grey Toyota Axio motor car off Arcadia Drive, Kingston 8. The bodies had what appeared to have been gunshot wounds to the head. It's believed that the incident happened sometime between last night and early this morning. The identities of the men have not yet been confirmed. However, reporters were informed that one of the men is from a Kingston 20 address. The Constant Spring Investigation Bureau is investigating. Over 9,000 nabbed in St. James for traffic breaches since January. The St. James Police are reporting that over 9,000 people have been prosecuted for breaches of the Road Traffic Act in the parish between January 1 and February 20. Over the period, some 9,473 tickets have been issued during multi-agency operation led by the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF in collaboration with the Jamaica Defence Force, Transport Authority, and the Island Traffic Authority. Some 184 motor cars and 54 motorcycles were seized during the operations, the police reported. Meanwhile, 50 people have been arrested for breaching the Road Traffic Act, while over 800 were charged for exceeding the speed limits in regular crash zones such as the Rose Hall and Bogue Main roads. Sentencing of mother-daughters for murder postponed until Tuesday. The lack of a criminal record forced the postponement of the sentencing of the mother and 2 daughters who recently pleaded guilty to the murder of 36-year-old Tamara Geddes of Reserve District, Falmouth in the Trelawney Circuit Court on Friday. The deceased woman's sister, Nadine Geddes, a Trelawney farmer, and her 2 daughters, one a minor, pleaded guilty to Tamara's killing when they appeared in the same court on February 8. Tamara was shot dead in her home by a gunman on Friday, June 19, 2020. Over months of extensive coordinated investigations across Trelawney St. James Westmoreland, and the corporate area, detectives arrested and laid charges against the sister of the deceased and her two daughters, 21-year-old Shanique Rudolph and a 15-year-old, along with 24-year-old Brian Shelley, 23-year-old Rexton Knott, both of Norwood St. James, and Owen Irwin and 33-year-old Tashana Young, both also of St. James addresses. Knott was freed when he appeared in court on February 8 due to insufficient evidence to mount a viable case against him in court. Reports from the Falmouth police were that on June 19 at about 8:30 p.m., Tamara Geddes was in her room with her daughter when a gunman entered the house, demanded money, and then shot her several times. The daughter escaped unhurt. The police were alerted, and Tamara was taken to hospital where she was pronounced dead. On Tuesday, July 14th, Nadine Geddes, along with both of her daughters and Owen Irwin, were arrested and charged in connection with the murder of Tamara Geddes. The other accused persons were subsequently arrested and charged by investigators. On Friday, the judge ruled that the matter be postponed until next Tuesday after it was disclosed that the antecedent for Ruddock was not present in court. New COVID control measures coming. Amid criticism that he has been absent as COVID-19 cases spike across the country, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his government has been working behind the scenes to craft new virus prevention measures. Against that background, Holness said a press conference will be held as early as this week to update the nation on the new measures. People are saying they don't hear from me on the pandemic, and I reflected upon it. I have given all the statements and made all the appeals, and very soon I will be having a press conference on the pandemic, he assured. The Prime Minister was speaking on Friday during a tour of the National Water Commission NWC project for a transmission main upgrade to improve the water supply between 6 Miles and Blake Road in Kingston. There have been calls from numerous stakeholders and social media users for Holness to address the nation as COVID-19 cases continue to increase, this while the public hospitals are at capacity levels. In response to the calls, Holness assured that what the government has been doing behind the scenes is to refine a new set of measures that will enable the economy to continue, but to have the kind of control on movements that will prevent the spread of the disease. While noting that the government has used curfew hours and gathering rules to control the spread of the virus, he admitted that Jamaicans were becoming fatigued. But he said while vaccines are coming to at least slow down the spread of the virus, there is likely to be at least another 9 months of the infectious respiratory illness in Jamaica. Jamaica is to receive a donation from AstraZeneca vaccines from the government of India. They are scheduled to arrive this week, according to the Indian High Commissioner to Jamaica. While the virus control measures are being refined and vaccines continue to be rolled into the island, Holness again appealed to Jamaicans to observe the present COVID-19 prevention protocols to prevent a collapse of the health system. So the best solution, obviously, is to get every single Jamaican to follow the protocol, wear the mask, maintain the social distance, sanitize, and don't move about unnecessarily. That's the key, he stated. The government will also do some things as it relates to measures to control movement, control gathering, and control what some institutions do. We plan to have a press briefing in a few days, he added. Jasmine Dean's family holding on to her clothes. Jasmine Dean's family has refused to discard her clothes and other belongings. 1 year after the mysterious disappearance of the 23-year-old visually impaired University of the West Indies student, her family remains optimistic that she will return home and use them again. Speaking with reporters on Friday, Dean's father, Lloyd Dean, said he especially will not give up the desperate struggle to know what happened to his daughter, who he said was like his best friend and who was last seen on February 27, 2020. Our things them still there because we no plan for dash them way. We have to really see what go on before we do nothing. Once you no see a dead body, anything can happen. We no plan for dismantle our things them. We put them one side and pack them up. More time, the smaller daughters them will use them. I still distraught but optimistic, Lloyd Dean said with a sulky face. For her birthday on November 28 last year, the family held a party for the young woman. Since there has been no evidence that she is dead, the members are operating under the assumption she is still alive. Until they find her, her father will continue to campaign. Mr. Dean noted that he disapproves of how the law has dealt with the two men, 40-year-old Tamar Henry of Bull Bay, St. Andrew, and 36-year-old Gregory Wright, who was arrested in last April, in connection with Jasmine's disappearance after being found in possession of her identification and other items belonging to her. In December last year, Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson said the investigation into Jasmine's disappearance was ongoing and will take more than a year afterwards for additional charges to be laid against the two, for example, a charge like murder. Both were previously charged with illegal possession of identity information, 8 counts of unauthorized access to computer data, and simple larceny. Henry was also charged for breaches under the Dangerous Drug Act. Me no care about it being unhealthy for me. Me have to do what me have to do. If we did find our body, me wouldn't keep no party. We still a hope for the best even though we expect the worst. The law need to cover the country better. Only time a man get catch is when him touch a big people family. You wouldn't see it just go so. Them would go just the same time and would know where to find them. As long as me live and me no hear her, me a go look for her every day and me will keep anything for her same way. Me goodly cook all a pot for her, he said. 1 year after, it coming like me should find her already. My other children get flat and don't even want to talk about it no more. Them no want hear nothing, especially the big girl. Me still a try keep up the thing because me still want find her. Me can't rest. Me can't feel good. From them have the two man them, we should have get more out of them by this. It's not like you no find nothing. It's just a stress me out more and more. The longer it take, the worse for me. But me nah stop. Me can't stop. You can't have a youth and them missing and you just give up so. Look from when them say she dead. But me have to see what them a say. Some people glad to lose them pitney because them no want mind them. Even if a 100 year later, me nah give up. Every day me a look for me youth, the elder Dean said. Lloyd Dean shared with reporters that the mother of all his 4 children died 13 years ago and he would have loved to still have her by his side to help in the search for Jasmine. He said if she were around, he wouldn't be bearing all the pain of not knowing where his daughter is. If somebody else did there, me would have feel different, but me alone and me can't find her and it a worry me star. But me have to try keep up me thing, because the rest of the youth them have to live. Me just a wait to see because you know what we can happen. One thing with Jasmine, she always a check up on me. She come in like more than my best friend. She always asks, Daddy, you alright? She knows say sometimes me take it last and give it to them. So when she asks me that, it coming like it give me a strength. And enough things we miss about her, Lloyd Dean stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.